up, Heat Nation? Welcome back to another Miami Heat Roundtable. I'm your host, Amir. Got the whole crew joining us today. No guest, just us boys. The Miami Heat. Huge victory. Huge. I still think it's a big win. I'm pumped that we won. I know the consolation is we're playing Boston, which sucks without Jimmy, but I was amped up watching that game, guys. 91 to 112. The Miami Heat destroy the Celtics in a huge win. We're still alive. That's all that matters to me, boys. I know some of us on here were thinking it's better if the Heat lose, but I wasn't one of those guys. So we got 4 more guaranteed games of basketball. Like, that's all I care about. I just want to see what happens. And we're here, guys. Who wants to jump in first? What are your thoughts on that game, boys?
Um, so congratulations, the Heat won the game. I'm super pumped. That kind of sounded like a smart. That kind of sounded so smart ass, but nah, I was not for real. I'm happy we won though, right? We won the game. Pretty much outside of that second quarter, we destroyed them and everything. Even in that fourth quarter, like we already knew the game was over. We had our reserves in third strings and stuff like that. But our defense is incredible, man. I mean, Kobe White just went off for 40 last game, and today we forced him 5 for 16, 2 for 8 at the 3-point line, and 13 points. So I can't complain at that. And then Io, they're another scorer. He went 3 for 15, 2 for 11 at the 3-point line. Our defense was incredible. Allowing an NBA team to score 91 points in a playoff game is pretty impressive. That is led by DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, and Caruso and Kobe White. Like, that was just a really good stretch. And then obviously, man, I'm still not the biggest fan of Tyler, but I'll give him his credit, man. He showed up today. He finally did what I needed him to do. If this game was a little bit closer, I'm pretty sure he would have got that triple double. But 100% at the free throw line, damn near half at the 3-point line, 4 for 9, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. And everybody was saying that Jaime needs to play that Jimmy Butler role, and I honestly think he probably played better than what Jimmy Butler would have provided us in this game right now. So shout out to Jaime. Shout out to this team for winning the game, and now we're getting ready for the Boston Celtics.
I think you're seeing a lot of different players combining, doing what Jimmy can do. And it sounds ridiculous, but when you think about it, Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin, and Haywood Highsmith, they're going to make up. If we can figure this out, get it together. I think the kind of coaching you saw tonight from Eric Spoelstra was great. The lineup rotations, the switching, it was reminiscent of Phil Jackson in the 93-94 season when Jordan retired and he had a team with Pippen was the leading guy and led him to 55 games. It was the coaching. You saw a lot of great movement from Spoelstra tonight. I love seeing DeLon Wright out there. He provides great energy. Haywood Highsmith, Caleb Martin. I need more from Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin's about to play in Boston again. So if we can get Caleb Martin from last year, if everybody can step up, I mean, I know Boston's a juggernaut. I know everybody's saying we can't do it, but why the hell not try?
Yeah, before you jump in, giving Spo some flowers. So we went on a 26-2 run. We were down by 4 or 5 points to start the game. Both teams were coming out hot. Chicago made their first 3 or 4 shots, and we went on a 26-2 run, and that was basically all she wrote at that point. 17-point lead in the first quarter. DeMar DeRozan woke up. He is their star. He's their aging star, but he literally had 13 points in the second quarter alone, 15 at halftime. If you remember in the third quarter, Spo was blitzing DeMar DeRozan almost every time he touched the ball, and he only had 7 points. He's like, I'm going to make these other guys beat me because they weren't making shots in the first half, and they simply didn't make enough. They did come back within 7 at one point, but that's the closest they got. And then we went on a 7-8-0 run again, and we busted their ass. So I want to give flowers to Spo playing, shorthanded per usual, what he's used to, but huge game, man. Martel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a very huge game because think about it. With no Jimmy Butler, this team could have easily have flopped. Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. This is why they're here. We need their. There are cornerstone players going into the future, so they're gonna have to use these games to step up. Now with Boston, this can really either go 3 ways. They either blow us out, or it's competitive, and then a team kind of pulls away close to the end, or the Miami Heat they do the unthinkable. It's kind of like what Ernest said. Why not? I will say if we do win this series, though, it has to be built off of defense. And guys like Haywood Highsmith, Caleb Martin, and DeLon Wright, they're going to have a huge job, running around chasing, Tatum and Brown. My biggest concern, which is not really, too crazy because we can kind of implement Kevin Love, is the size issue with Porzingis. How are we going to slow him down they're a really big juggernaut, but the Boston Celtics, they always do find a way to fumble something. So, like as long as they're competitive, that's all we can really ask for. They're so lucky that we don't have Jimmy Butler, but all I want them to do is just be competitive.
I want to see more Thomas Bryant in the Boston Celtics series, and I don't want to see him because of playing time, rebounds, scoring, nothing. I want to see him because against Porzingis, you need a big body that can give you 6 fouls. It's kind of like the Shaquille O'Neal method, throw big bodies at him. You don't have Jimmy Butler, so you need to stop people as much as possible. Tatum's going to do his thing. Brown's going to mess up with his left hand, so you're hoping is that you can contain the other guys and try to beat them with defense, like Martell said. How do you beat Porzingis? We got Bam, one of the best defensive centers in the NBA. It's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's, the Heat are going to do it. Chances are Boston's going to beat us. But why I like that we won, we've all talked about this. In the offseason, we may see a whole overhaul and change. Big O was on here. What did he say? What's the value for Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero? Jimmy Butler just got injured. His value was last year in the playoffs. We need Tyler Hero to do amazing in these playoffs because it could either show us, hey, maybe we could ride with this guy if he's not injury prone. Maybe next year he doesn't get injured and let's see what we can have. Or maybe it gets us that piece, that number one that we've all been talking about. Maybe a Donovan Mitchell, maybe someone else like that. I know people are saying, no, Tyler's your cornerstone, your future. We haven't really seen it in 5 years. So if Tyler's able to give you some great games in the playoffs, showcase some great highlights, increase his value, we also have our draft pick this year, our first round draft pick with our 2030. And I don't know if I'm wrong. Doesn't the 2031 pick become available too? Mm-hmm. You can trade multiple picks with a Tyler Hero and a piece and maybe get something big. I'm talking about in the future. We still have this year. I'm the guy that lives in the moment. Let's see what we can do. But this is also increasing value for certain players as well. So we got to look at that as a positive. This win tonight was a positive in a lot of different factors, in my opinion.
I agree. So I don't want to be negative Nancy and stuff. I actually think this is what the Boston Celtics don't want, because when you go against an underdog this much, you go into these games thinking, oh, we got this. And I've been watching Boston for a little bit, and one thing they tend to do is blow leads. They blow a lot of leads because they get so comfortable, and you don't want to do that with the Miami Heat. I said this in my video that I dropped about an hour ago. Go check it out. But if I'm confident, and this is and y'all don't hear this usually, I'm confident if Terry's out there and Duncan is 100%, which I don't think he will be 100%, but if he's just playing with Terry, with the squad that we have, I'm actually confident that we can force a 6. Do I want to win the series? Of course. I hate the Boston Celtics. But I want to take it back a couple years ago. Do y'all remember that Pelicans versus Suns series where the Pelicans were that 8th seed and the Suns were the favorites? The Pelicans pushed them. The Suns won, but they won the war, but they lost the battle. I think I'm saying it right. They really did, because they came up in the second round, the third round, and they were tired, and that led them to losing the championship that year to Milwaukee. Yep. So, I know you got something to say, Mayor. I see your face. I want to do that with Boston.
That's a great point.
That's the fucking point.
That's a great point.
That's all I want to do.
Yup, I love that.
We're not going to beat them. Sorry. I'm more optimistic normally. Like, our offense is simply not good enough to play against that team that is the number 1 offense and the number 2 defense in the NBA. They are a freaking juggernaut. The only chance we have is, and I don't wish this upon anybody, but Jason Tatum or Brown or someone gets injured.
I was thinking now. Why'd you say that?
I don't want it to happen, but I mean, like, that's the only way they win. Like, to your point, Trent, I don't even, like, I'd be happy for 5. I would be happy that we get extra Miami Heat basketball, just extra reps for our boys. I want Tyler to audition. Like, I'm sorry, Tyler, with all the injuries, he's inconsistent also. It's like, you see, he has a game like he did against Philly, which he had to huck up shots. Like, he had to throw those shots up, right, to a certain degree. But then he does what this game? He shoots. I mean, he started off pretty slow. He was 1 for 5, and he was 3 for 9, but he picked it up and had an efficient game. But can you do this consistently? He hasn't shown us that. That's why I don't hate Tyler. I don't love Tyler. I'm like neutral with him. Like, I like Tyler. He's a good player, but he's in year 5. what year did Dwayne Wade win a championship? Year 3. Like, what year do
Oh, yeah.
players start getting better? 3, 4, 5. Look at Shea Alexander. Look at Luka. Like, all these guys who are actually like going to be that type of guy were good after year 3, year 4, right? It doesn't take 6, 7, 8 years like to become a superstar. He could be a star, but not an all-star, in my opinion. Anyway, I love
Ernest, hold
you
up.
said that, Trent. Though, sorry, let me finish the last point.
Yeah.
Even if we don't beat Boston, let's freaking try to go to 5, 6 games. Let's get them tired early on so they don't have an opportunity to win a championship. Let's get them like tired. Let's get them banged up playing Miami Heat basketball with that defense. Like, let's just, as long as the Lakers and Boston don't win a championship this year, I don't give a shit who wins. I'm happy. Like, I'm happy we
I
made
want to
it.
see a good series. I want to see a good
Exactly.
series.
I
Yeah,
want to see a good series.
competitive.
Ernest, so let me ask you this because you brought up a really good point, and I actually agree with the point, but I also want to play devil advocate.
For sure.
Yeah, right. So some scouts may look okay. If Tyler wins this series, then scouts will be like, okay, maybe we'll look at him, right? And I'm talking about top office and stuff like that.
Maybe if Tyler wins the series, we're gonna give him an extension.
Yeah.
No, but look,
You
no,
think
hear
this
me
is
out though, because this is to Ernest's
Stop.
point. This is to Ernest's point right here, though, right? So he said this is like an audition for him, but I want to look at the other side. They're gonna be like, well, this is an audition for him, but can he do this with star players? Because he couldn't do it with Jimmy and Bam. Obviously, he's going to be the one that has the ball in his hand majority of the time. He's going to take the most shots. So for him, he should be playing well. His numbers should look good. Efficiency, that's a different story, of course, right? Because we've seen him go 9 for 27, but his numbers still look pretty decent, right? So you could look at that side and be like, whoa, because they already don't look at Tyler as that guy to trade for like a big name like a Donovan and stuff like that. Which I think that Donovan Mitchell thing is actually turning real because I keep seeing reports that came out today, literally today, and it's getting more and real. But like your point's valid, but also I think some scouts look at Tyler like, well, Jimmy's not there, of course he's gonna play good. Like there's always gonna be that side. So I think it works for both sides. Hopefully Tyler can shut me up. No contract extension because that's where we get screwed. We do not need to do that. And let's just go have fun. It sounds like, losing mentality, but when you don't have your best player, just go out there and have fun. My question to everybody in the group is, y'all keep saying 4, 5, 6, but like, what's a legitimate prediction for you guys for this series?
I think people get the wrong idea when we talk about Tyler Hero, because in my comments earlier, there were some people who were like, Tyler's the future. Tyler's the guy that's going to lead the Heat in the future. I don't think any of us disagree or anybody would like say that Tyler Hero's a bad basketball player. We all know that Tyler Hero's a hooper. Tyler Hero's a bucket getter. The point that I've made is that with this particular team, the way that we're constructed, the way that we're built, it's probably not the right fit for him. You put Tyler in San Antonio with a Victor Wembanyama where he can score and be crazy, that might be the best fit for him. So I think people get the wrong impression when we talk with Tyler Hero, because I think all of us agree that Tyler Hero is a great bucket getter and he can do great with this team. It's just depending on where he's playing. So with Jimmy Butler out, he's gonna do his thing. He's gonna be able to create. He's gonna be able to do whatever he wants to do. Now, can he lead us? How far we can go? Honestly, bro, I mean, I think the honest prediction, what people will say, is Celtics are in 5 or 6. But remember, a 2008 Atlanta Hawks took the Boston Celtics to 7 games. And that team won the championship. And that team won 66 games. And I've said it before. Boston Celtics' Achilles heel is the Miami Heat. Miami's in Boston's head. Just like you said, Trent, when I'm sure Boston saw Miami as the AC, they're like, crap. Even without Jimmy, it's still like that. So I think that he can take it. I think realistically 6 games, but I'm confident that he can take it 7. I think Miami can get in their head.
You want to go
That's no, but that's if Terry's available. If Terry's available, they have a good shot.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then it comes down to offense, man. Like we could play spectacular defense, but then also too, this will also solidify Bam Adebayo. Because don't get me wrong, like because I also say it too. He does a lot for this Miami Heat team, but we're gonna need offense from him, and Porzingis cannot stay in front of him. He's going to have to be Bam Adebayo, 25 and 10. Just like how he was like in the beginning of the season. We're
Yup.
going to need him to play at a phenomenal level. Yeah, Tyler Hero, he's going to have the bulk of the offense as well, but Bam Adebayo is going to have to abuse all those mismatches. You see what I'm saying? He's going to have to take
Yup.
it to Tatum, take it to Brown. He's going to have to take it to Porzingis. That's where the role players now come in because whoever's leading the charge, that's the energy they're going to feed off of.
I'm sorry, but Bam's gonna have trouble. I know you can take.
No, he is. He is. It's not going to be
They're
easy,
the
but
number 2 defense in the NBA. Like, come on now. It's like Bam had 8 shots tonight. He had 13 and 4 and 4 in the biggest game of the season technically because it's the only elimination game. So like, it's hard for me to see it. Like, I hope he does. I hope he steps up and turns on that switch. But he didn't in Philly. He didn't tonight when Jimmy wasn't there. It looked like we were going to run the offense through him in the first play of the game. He had a beautiful turnaround jumper, hit it. Second half, like second quarter, didn't touch the ball. It was just mainly Tyler and Hawkes, which is fine. We were winning. But then in the second half, in the third quarter, he came around and did like a nice little jump shot on Vus. He should be taking Vus off the dribble all day. He should be abusing him. He was getting double teamed for a fair point. Caruso was watching him.
Stop it.
Boston is going to do the same thing. They're gonna like, who are you? They're not going to double Tyler. Like Drew Holiday can handle Holiday, but Drew Holiday can handle Tyler. They're going to blitz Bam.
Amir, if you take Tyler out the game, where's the offense coming from?
Hawkes.
Jaime, but I mean, can he do it against Boston?
And that's what they want.
Yep.
Exactly.
And the fact for standings, you think we go to 6 or 7? I mean, it is contingent on Terry.
No, I mean, look, I
chance.
think, remember, because what happens in a series? You're playing the same team over and over again. Spo is the best strategist. I don't care without Jimmy. He can figure Boston out. If Boston decides to double team Tyler, he'll figure out a way to get to the ball, to get the ball to the open man. I am very confident with that. I don't think that'll work. You can double Tyler, but I think that'll just create penetration. How are you going to beat Porzingis? In my opinion, space the floor. What is the one thing that Miami's done differently since we last played Boston those last 3 games? Bam can space the floor. Bam's being respectable with the 3. If you take Porzingis out the paint like Chris Bosh did back in the Big 3 era, you might have a shot. You can get Tyler, you can get Jaime, you can get Caleb, you can get guys to drive the lane. Bring Porzingis out the paint. Jason Tatum's their 4. I think you have a shot. You just got to be able to play them right. And it's got to be perfect basketball.
What do we have a shot at? I want to clarify. What are you referring to? To win the series?
Bro, to win the series, you have to play perfect basketball. And this Miami Heat team has not done that this year.
What did you mean by they have a shot at what? You mean taking it to 6 games or something?
Taking it in the series. Bro, when I say taking it to them, I mean taking it to 6-7 games, not get swept, not get embarrassed. We need them to do this against Boston to raise value of certain players. Because what are we talking about offseason? Guys, it's going to be the Damian Lillard thing all over again next year in this offseason. Trade rumors, all this stuff. We know we're going to go through it. Certain Heat fans are going to be like, no, don't trade Tyler. Hey, it's realistic. It can happen. I think Bam and maybe not even Jaime. Bam's probably the only untouchable player. Maybe not even. Who knows?
I'm going to be honest with you. Bam needs I think we give credit to Bam too much, and I think we should. But, bro, these couple games, man, he don't score enough for me, bro. And what I said,
8 shots tonight. That's unacceptable.
Bro, 8 shots.
But and this is what I'm saying. But this is not only the game. He did it against the 76ers. He had 9 shots. I need 20 and 10 Bam. That's all I need from you, Bam.
Season average.
I think he saw Jaime and Tyler going, and he was kind of like, okay, let them cook, and I'll do it if I have to. I don't know. I'm just saying, because when you look at the shots, you see Jaime took 16 attempts, Tyler took 17 attempts. Nobody else beside them took that many attempts. I think Bam was just being a leader. Sometimes as a leader, guys, yeah, you can dominate, but sometimes as a leader, like not the best player, the leader, like Bam is. If you see other people doing their thing, you're going to sacrifice yourself and you're going to let them cook. So that's what I think happened. Because remember, Jaime was cooking early and so was Tyler. So Bam was like, all right, boys, go. I'll give you your screens. I'll get you open. I'll give you your spots. I don't think Bam's game is reflecting on his box score. You need to see what he did out there. I mean, that's just from what I saw. 13 points, 4 rebounds is trash. I get it, but I don't know.
But also think about what Big O said. I know that some people don't agree with him, but he's right when it comes to Bam and Tyler. We have unrealistic expectations on them. think about it. Yeah, Tyler Hero's a good young player, but they're trying to make it seem like he's like the second coming of Devin Booker, and he's nowhere near that. Same thing with Bam Adebayo. I think that Bam Adebayo, he shows a lot of, great moments where he drops 30 and 25, but is he really a, like a 1B or however like you want to compare it? We don't really have, great scorers on this roster. Even Tyler Hero, he's a good scorer, but is he a great scorer? No. So I think Big O is definitely right. Like when it comes to our expectations on Bam and Tyler, we have unrealistic expectations. Bam was never ever an offensive guy. He came into the NBA as a rim runner and a great defensive guy. But these whole 30-point games, you have to push him, and if you have to push him, you know what I'm saying? It's not really going to happen on a consistent basis. Same thing with Tyler Hero. We want to put on, these unrealistic expectations, like to make it seem like he's going to be this elite scorer. Yeah, he can score every now and then, but he can't, like his offense isn't with the Carmelo Anthonys and with the Devin Bookers and with all the other smooth scorers in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I mean, I partially agree with that, Martel, but no. I think you're giving Bam not enough credit that he deserves. I think you're not giving Tyler enough credit he deserves. Do I kind of agree with you? Yeah, but I don't agree with Big O when he said that we're setting unrealistic expectations. These guys have proven in the past that they can do it. We just need to give them a chance. We need to give them their opportunity. Tyler gets hurt. I understand that. Injury prone. But let's see what happens. Bam has proven that he can improve. He's gotten better. He was not a scorer. You're right. Bro, in the last few years, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. I think that's overachieving the expectations that people had for Bam. I don't think anybody ever thought, especially in the 2019-2020 season when Jimmy came, that Bam could be an all-star. Nobody ever thought that. He's a two-time all-star. I think Bam needs to be given a little bit more flowers than what people are giving him. And I do think that he's a cornerstone. And I've said this so many times before, I don't think that he's a number one. I think that Bam Adebayo on this team, he's a Horace Grant and a Dennis Rodman put together. That type of player deserves flowers. And the fact that he can average 20 points, yeah, Tyler, maybe you're more right on that. Tyler with the whole injury thing, but when Tyler can cook, he can cook. So I agree with you about Tyler in a little bit, but with Bam, nah, bro. Bam, I just see him higher.
So what I mean by Bam is that, okay, so how can I put it? Okay, so prime example. Think about where people say they have to push him offensively and they're trying to encourage him to shoot more. Because like you guys just said, I'm not saying that he's not a good offensive option on this team, but think about it. This is the elimination game, and you only have 8-9 shots. My man, you should honestly be around 15 shots. And think about it. Yeah, people have been saying playoff Jimmy. Yeah, Bam has been there every now and then, but when you go look at his stats, is he really right there neck and neck with Jimmy Butler? And that's what I mean by it. Since Jimmy Butler's out, we're going to need Bam Adebayo to take that, because I don't really see Tyler Hero, taking it to Drew Holiday, taking it to Derek White. It's going to be hard for him, honestly. Yeah. Bam Adebayo, he kind of has every mismatch. He's bigger than Drew Holiday. He can take it to Brown. He can take it to Tatum. Even Porzingis. Porzingis has the length, but he doesn't have the size. And then Al Horford, think about it. Bam Adebayo is allowing Al Horford to stay in front of him for these past few, runs.
Not as much last year though.
Not as much last year.
He did, but yeah.
But the years prior, that's what I mean by the offensive stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not a good player. I think Bam Adebayo he's untradeable and he does too much, and they put actually too much on him. But especially offensively, we're gonna need him to take over. He is the mismatch. If he's not aggressive, looking for 20 shots a game, 25 shots a game, there is no hope, because he's the one that's the mismatch. He's gonna be our Jimmy Butler in this series, and hopefully Terry can come back as well.
I agree, because it has to be him and Tyler with the majority of the shots, because
they
had a great game.
They're gonna put Tyler in jail, bro. They're gonna put Tyler in hell.
I think we can have a lot of players score double figures. I think this doesn't need to be one guy. I think we need to be the type of team that in the playoffs that any MFer can give you 20 in every night. You can get it from Tyler, Bam, Jaime, Jovic, Caleb, Love, Duncan. That's the team we need to be. We need to space the floor. We need to get people out of the paint, and we need to allow certain players to cook. If Terry's cooking, go with him. If Tyler's cooking, go with him. Jaime, bam. That's what we need to do. We don't have Jimmy. We need to space the floor, and whoever's hot, let them go. Are we going to beat Boston? I'm sure all of us can agree that the chances are maybe who says 50%? Anyone? I don't think so.
No.
But can we make it competitive?
3%. It's 3% for real this year. Like,
For real. But what's the percentage of can we make it competitive?
Oh, 50%. Make it competitive, but we can't.
Let's do it.
It's probably.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And you know what? If we get a chance, let's shock the world again. Chances are we can't, but why the hell not try?
Yeah, I think it's probably 1% chance that we could win.
Maybe, bro. Maybe we may get swept. I just want to see more games. I want Tyler to boost up his value, so this offseason could be way more interesting. And we have a lot more crap to talk about. So hey, let's go playoff time. I'm excited.
I'm excited too, but not when I look at Boston's stats as the team. Oh my God, 120 points per game.
It just pushes the rivalry. Let's go. If we're going to drop in the first round, might as well rather be to like a team like Boston to keep the rivalry. Then next year, who knows? Eastern Conference Finals again. I don't know.
My last thing I'll say is Bam never averaged 20 and 10. Just to be specific.
Never did, for real?
It was 19 technically, right? This year? 19.
No, not this year, but any season.
Nope, never.
No?
20 and 9.6.
Okay. Wait a second. Because let's not be jackasses now.
No, that's
what
why
are
I'm
we
doing
talking about, really?
No,
Are we getting technical now?
No. I wanted to do it when y'all was talking about Bam, so I was like, but y'all kept talking, so I was like, it's kind of late now. But
No, I'll give him the 20.
It's still funny.
But throughout these runs, there's been too many pockets where Bam Adebayo was not right there with Jimmy. I don't want Haywood Highsmith and Caleb Martin shooting more shots than Bam Adebayo. That's crazy to me. And Bam Adebayo has the biggest mismatch in every series. He has the best mismatch in every single series. He's either too fast, too strong, or too athletic than whoever's guarding him or the people around him.
They're gonna double team him. Mark my words.
Absolutely.
They're gonna blitz him. You think you're gonna blitz Tyler? They have Drew Holiday and Derek White. They could rotate off of him and switch and guard him straight up. They're gonna blitz Bam and make Jaime Jaquez and Tyler and Jovic and Caleb beat us, and we simply can't without Jimmy Butler. Like, I'm sorry.
I just want to punch Boston in the mouth in game one. I want this win. If this is the only win we get, this is the win I want. Like, punch them in game one. You got, like, if there's anything you could do, you got to try to win game one. Because if you win game one, now the whole series is in your favor. It's in your momentum. So that's what we need to do. We got to try to get game one. So I'm excited for Sunday, guys. Let's go.
Just win one. All we need is one on the road, Sunday or Tuesday. Like, let's just try to get one. I honestly think, because I don't know about Terry, but I feel like the Celtics are going to beat us in 5. But I'm also delusional enough to think that this Miami Heat could take it to 7. Because, like, who knows with this team? This team is Jekyll and Hyde. This team is torture. You never freaking know, right?
Let's go.
Just like tonight, first quarter we could score 37, then score 12 the next quarter. That's the dichotomy of this Miami Heat. That's like the Miami Heat in a box this season.
Well,
right?
we're excited for Sunday, guys. Well, look, thanks for everyone that's tuning in. Don't forget, Team to Beat Miami Heat, Miami Heat Talk, Miami Heat Network, Miami Heat Zone Podcast. Like, subscribe, follow. We're doing big things. Thank you for everybody. Amir, you got anything to add?
All good, baby. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.
And that's enough said. Let's go.